YouTube land. This is Phoenix Dingo. Thank you for coming to my channel. All right, so I wanted to talk about Andrew Yang and Greta Thunberg. I'm going to get to Andrew Yang's part later on, but first I wanted to do background on Greta. She is a little girl. She's like 16 years old, and she started learning about global warming. She saw images, and it really depressed her. And it put her into a position where she stopped talking, she stopped eating, and eventually she got diagnosed with some disorders. But she finally decided she wanted to go ahead and do something about it. So she started skipping schools on Friday and sitting in front of the Swedish Parliament. And this was to make statements about change happening when it came to climate. Now, this led to a movement, not just a movement to where she is, but a worldwide movement. They had one today with kids in New York City, where they all skipped school and they had a huge protest. And not only are they doing protests, but they're doing protests and demands. They have specific agendas that they're trying to do. I really commend these children. They're not even children. Actually there were some young children there, and I was stunned. I was like, wow, because not too many people are doing too much, and I was just impressed. Anyways, I love the fact that she is unapologetic with what she says. She's very bold in speaking to Congresses. She's speaking to TED Talks. She's got a really good TED Talks. I'm going to find it again, and I'll go ahead and put it in the link below. Speaking to all these adults, and she's very blunt. She's like, it's your fault. You've screwed over my generation. You haven't done what you were supposed to. And you're saying that we're the future and you're looking to us, but you're just screwing us. And I'm supposed to be in school, but instead I got to come here and tell you how to do your job. And I think it's phenomenal, and it's a true testament to what young people have to offer when it comes to the nations, period. You got to think about it. We always say the kids are the future, but we never want to listen to them. Kids, one, have time. They're in school. They're learning about things that are going on, and you got to take into account a lot has changed. Like, I was learning about global warming about 30-something years ago when I was in elementary school, and they warned about what would happen right about now. Now, if you look at what these kids are learning, it's probably pretty scary. Whereas in me, I haven't been in school forever. The only reason I know about it is because I like watching documentaries, because I'm a little bit of a nerd like that. Hence me and Andrew Yang work. So when it comes down to what they're learning, it's got to be horrifying. And now these kids are out here, they're scared, they're pissed because we haven't done what we were supposed to do. And I guess I would have to be part of that generation because, I mean, I have friends my age with kids that are like in their 20s. So I guess I'm part of that. But, this is stuff that they're going to have to live with, like their future. And they're learning, and they're directly affected by our decisions and the things that we're doing now. And they have time now to dig deep, and they're passionate. They haven't been, kicked around by life yet. Hopefully, I don't know. A lot of people go through stuff at young ages, but I hope that they still have that spark, the hope, the optimism that a lot of us end up losing when we have to give up our childhood dreams and realize, oh, I'm not going to be a superstar. I'm going to be working at a cashier or, in a factory or whatever. And slowly the hope and dreams just kind of fall out of your face. And then you're just here working every day like a rat on the wheel, getting nowhere, just working. So I think that optimism is important when it comes to moving forward. So here's where this meets Yang. One, Yang has a proposal to move the voting age down to 16. Now, I think this is important because, as we said again, everything that we decide at this point pretty much decides their future. What we vote on right now, the 16-year-olds are going to have to deal with, in like 8, 10, 15 years. This is all stuff that they're going to have to deal with. And I think it's important to teach them at that young age and have them vote while they're still young and teach them the importance of their vote. Teach them where to look, the cabinet members, the different houses, the mayors, the governors, the Senate, all of that. Yeah, it's something that we kind of ran over, but it was no real focus. And I think it's really important for them to be able to not only learn about it, but participate, especially at that age, because, and it's not necessarily going to be their 16th birthday. It could be a little before that, or I'm sorry, a little bit after that, an election will happen. But I think it's very important that they get involved. And this is the main reason why, is things like this is something that's in the forefront of their minds. And it's important. It's important. And they should, like, if this election going on right now, we have one president who doesn't believe in climate change. And then we have, the others right now that are going through. This would be a monumental change because they understand the severity of what's going on. And their voices should be heard. I think it's important. Two, Yang is about inclusion and incentives. So with him and his ideas about, making people want to become part, mixed with the pressure from the youth who want change and are demanding it and making themselves be heard, we have more of a chance of getting stuff done. Especially when they would have an ally with Andrew Yang in the United States. Now, mind you, this started off in Sweden. But if they could look to us as one, an example, but two, an ally for their cause, and on their behalf, we could go over there and come up with plans, solutions, incentives to get involved, this could make things go a lot faster. And then another point when it comes to Yang is younger. Yang is younger. He's more in tune with younger people. He's more in tune, and this is not about, this isn't so much about age as in being in tune with people and the struggles of today. Now, when you're talking about someone like the president that we have now, who doesn't believe in climate change, I don't think it's so much that he doesn't, because anyone who's been in elementary school has heard about climate change. However, he is decrepit and he won't be here like 20, 30 years from now, unlike the rest of us who will have to deal with this. So if he goes ahead and just, whatever, it doesn't really impact his life that much. He's not going to be here when the ocean levels rise. And, it's not something he'll ever see, so why does he care? He's selfish. And that's one thing that is kind of plays into it when you're talking about age, because you're talking about people who, one, may be out of touch with current findings, with just how serious it is. I don't know what they're teaching these kids, but I know what I'm seeing in the news. So I can imagine as a child seeing this and looking at us saying, why are we not doing anything? Why are we talking about money when, this is going to happen? Just imagine the depression, the anxiety that these kids are probably going through, wondering about their future because we're not doing anything about it. So I think giving them a say is important. And Andrew Yang has plans to incentivize and bring people into the fold and want to contribute. And I think that's very important. So this movement that's been started by Greta Thunberg, I, one, commend her for doing that. I have an extreme fear of public speaking, which is why I started, one of the reasons why I started doing these videos is to try and get past that. And for her being a little 16-year-old, getting in front of so many people, her getting in front doing TED Talks, I'm watching her and I'm amazed at how well she's doing. I applaud her for standing up and making such. She literally started a worldwide protest. And like some of her things that she's saying, like for instance, the people that are in some of these countries who don't have what we have, they just want what we have, and we're sitting over here, we're just too consumed with shallow stuff that we're not thinking about doing things to protect our environment and protect our world. And so you have people over there who don't have stuff and they want what we have, and we're just too worried about other stuff. And so you have no one really paying attention except for the youth. And so I commend her so much for standing up and making such a huge change. I hope this results in change, and a better focus when it comes down to climate change. And I think the person to do it is going to be Yang. I think he has more of a chance of getting it done. A lot of people are talking the talk, but are they really going to get it done? That's one reason why I have faith in Andrew Yang, is everything that he has planned, it all feeds into each other, you know? And so with everything linked, of course, it's probably going to get done because it all connects to each other. So it's important for one side of his plan to go through because the other side needs to go through. So I am definitely Yang Gang on this one. I think he's the one. If you're one of the kids watching, tell everybody about Yang Gang. He is your ally. And I just encourage everyone to look up Greta and her speech. It's amazing. I'm going to find it and put it down below. Everyone have a great day. And yeah, if you believe the children are our future, like Whitney sang, vote Yang. Let their voices be heard.